Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And I just came on here to do a really fast update today. I haven't made a video on here in like over a week. I did see somebody tagged me though in a tag video, so I'm very excited about that. And I will be coming on here tomorrow or the next day to do that tag video. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I finally got tagged in a tag video. And it looks like a really, really fun one too, but I don't want to say any more about that. So I'm going to save it until I do the tag. Thank you for tagging me. That meant a lot to me. So let's talk about the updates of Peter Likes Books and the book club and all of that. First of all, I want to talk about the book club. So if you don't know, I have a true crime book club, which we're just going to call the True Crime Book Club for right now. Mel and I, who is my true crime book club partner, we met about 2 years ago and have been good Judies ever since then. We have been trying to come up with a name for this book club forever. And I just came up with a book name. I was like, oh my God, I was so excited about it. And I contacted her and I was like, oh my God, I just came up with the best, my hat is going sideways. I just came up with the best name for our true crime book club. But then I looked it up the next day and there was another book club with the exact same name. So see, we're trying to make it the same as, because we're going to do a podcast. I don't know if that's a mystery to anybody, mystery true crime. But Mel and I know you've never heard of true crime podcasts before. I mean, it's like nobody does true crime podcasts. There's all kinds of podcasts out there, but it's like there has never been a true crime podcast. It's literally the most saturated field of podcasts, I think, in the entire world. So Mel and I were like, why not us? Why shouldn't we start one? Because we're obsessed with true crime. So Mel and I, sometime in 2020, are going to start a true crime podcast. I'm sure it will take us weeks to come up with whatever the title of that is going to be. But anyway, we are so excited because, are you ready? My husband was nice enough. You know what he gave me for Valentine's Day? My husband is so cool. He is flying me out to Arizona for me to stay with Mel, or not to stay with Mel, I'm staying by myself, but she's coming, we're gonna hang out together and stuff. For me to meet Mel, because we've never met in 2 years, and we met through this book club and through Booktube. And you know, Booktube is just such an amazing place where you meet people and whatever. And she's honestly like, I've met so many people and become friendly with so many people, but Mel is like the first one like from Booktube. I'm like thinking, is that true? Is that true? That I've like really formed like a friendship with, where like we talk on the phone and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm so excited. We're just gonna hang out and get some crap food and hang around and be good Judies. And we're gonna come up with the podcast and we're gonna start figuring out what books we wanna read for the rest of the year. And we're just gonna have so much fun. Hopefully we'll come up with a few names for the book club and podcast. But the next live stream for Peter Likes Books book club, which is called the True Crime Book Club, is this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are discussing no, that's the next book that we're reading. We are discussing Mindhunter by John Douglas, which was fantastic. You still have time to read it. You have a whole week almost. It was so good. I think I listened to it in like 3 days, 3.5 days. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Mel was like, you better get on it because it's long. It's like 15 hours. She was like, you're not going to get it done in time. So I started listening to it and I finished it in like 3.5 days. And so we're going to be discussing Mindhunter this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouNow, which is linked below. It doesn't cost anything to download YouNow on your phone. You can just look it up on your computer. It's younow.com/Peter Monn. If you want to just come on there, you don't have to, I think you have to sign in and maybe start an account, but it's free. So anyway, the reason we do it over there is because on YouTube, you can't put several different people, and on YouNow, we can have several different people on there guesting at the same time, so it's really fun. So that brings me to the March book, of which I was supposed to announce on like the 15th. Mel texted me today, she's like, have you announced the March book yet? And I was like, nope. So anyway, the March book is Butcher Baker, which this whole case was referenced in, well, I mean like every case in the entire world was referenced in Mindhunter, if you've read Mindhunter. It is such a fantastic book, it really is. And so they reference, John Douglas references the case Butcher Baker. So we're gonna be reading Butcher Baker here. Let me screenshot it. Hold on a second, can I pull it up? There it is. We're going to be reading Butcher Baker, and it says on here, the savage, oh Lord, the savage sex slayer who blooded the Alaskan landscape. Oh my Lanta. A true account of a serial murderer, Walter Gilmore and Leland Hale. Okay, and it says on here, 8 pages of photos. I'm sure those photos will keep me up at night, so I won't be looking at them. Okay, and this book came out in, I think, 1953 or something. I said, girl, you are always picking these books that are so old. She's like, yeah, but you only ever want to read like the new books. And I go, oh, look, you just, hi. He said, I will not be reading that book. You won't be reading that book, Tucker? He said, no, that book scares me. Okay, so the book came out in 1991, paperback, 342 pages, and it has currently 380 ratings and an average score of 3.71. It's gonna be a real winner, I'm sure. I have to give it to Mel. Okay. So, I know she's going to comment and say Endless Night by Richard Lehman, because I picked that book and it was the world's worst book. Okay, wasn't it, Tucker? He said, I hated that book. Well, what do you like? He said, oh, I really like Danielle Steele. You do? He said, I love Danielle Steele. Okay. So, the true account of Alaska serial killer Robert Hansen, the baker who hunted the streets of Anchorage. Oh, you know what's so funny? You can't see this. Can you see this? So when I say S-T-R-E-E-T-S, he thinks I'm saying T-R-E-A-T-S. Watch. Okay, here. Sit up a little bit so they can see you. Okay, you ready? The true account of Alaska serial killer Robert Hansen, the baker who hunted the streets of Anchorage and Seward in the 70s and 80s, butchering up to 30 young women. This book details the extraordinary work and dedication of a handful of Alaska state troopers who brought him to justice. Let's do it again. Okay, who hunted the streets. What do you think I'm saying, bud? Can you see this? What? What do you want? Say hi, everybody. You want to see his ears? You want a treat, don't you? Well, we're going to have one in just a second. So I'm sure this book is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited to read it. Oh my God, I can't wait. So anyway, no, I'm sure it'll be really, really good. Okay, so that is our book for March, if you'd like to read it. And yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about that. You can start that now, or you can start that next. You can start it whenever you want. You can do whatever you want. There are no real rules to the book club. So let's see. Tucker, what else do we need to talk about? Yes. Well, I finished for my, what do you call it? My Peterisms channel. I'm reading meditations, well that, every single day. I'm reading motivation and inspirational self-help books over there. I don't love the word self-help, but I just finished Make Your Bed. Which was the book for February. I gave it 3 stars, and that was nice. I didn't love it. I didn't learn a lot. It was okay. It wasn't as great as Other Places You Go by Dr. Seuss, but it was okay. It was okay. It was 10 things that this Navy SEAL guy, officer, had learned. I was really excited about reading it because I was like, okay, this will be a great, like, birthday present, you know, graduation present for people and stuff like that, but it just wasn't that, like, for me. I mean, it was basically less, I mean, I don't know. I think if you were in the military, maybe it would mean a little bit more to you, but that was just my take on it. I don't know. It was read by the guy that wrote it, which was very nice, you know. I mean, it's his book, and he gave us the commencement speech at the University of Texas, which is where it came from. This is basically his commencement speech. Okay, so this is why the book, it was a lot. First of all, it was less than 2 hours long on Audible, okay? So the intro goes in and talks about all of these lessons and how he's going to learn them, right? And then the book is the 10 lessons, and each lesson is about 5 or 10 minutes. And then the last chapter is his commencement speech at the University of Texas, which is retelling of the 10 lessons. The book literally, and I said this in my vlog last night, it could have just been the 10 lessons. Like, I remember when Maya Angelou wrote, why can't I remember it now? The inaugural poem. What was that poem? Why can't I think of it? I love that Maya Angelou poem. But my mom bought it for me, and it was like this really cool copy of it. It could have been that. It could have been like this very simple kind of thing with these 10 lessons in it. It would have been fantastic. But anyway, it wasn't. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like I walked away and I was like, oh my God, I'm a changed person today, you know? But there were some good lessons in there, and the whole thing is called Make Your Bed because he believes in, you know, completing one task every day before you get your day started. And I have to say, since I've been reading the book, I've been making my bed, but I've been making my bed before that. But I do like that idea of like completing a task every day. So then I went back because I'd started it, and then I finished this book in between because I wanted to get this book done in February. So I went back and I started reading The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which is the 3rd installment of the Truly Devious series, which you guys know I love. And I had a really hard time getting into this book at first, but now I'm about 2.5, 3 hours into it. 2.5, I think. And I'm really, really, really loving this book. It is really good. It's a little darker than the other two, I have to say. A little bit, I wouldn't say depressing, but it's sad. It's like there's just a lot of sadness. A lot of people are gone. A lot of people have died in the first 2 books. And I would say it's a little bit bit more, this is interesting to me. Like, in the first 2 books, it was definitely young adult. The 3rd book is a little bit more like new adult, more new adult topics. I mean, they talk about like sex and things like that in there, which is kind of surprising to me because in the first 2 books that wasn't really talked about much. But I'm loving it. I really am loving it. And yeah, and I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I just actually bought 2 new books off of Audible yesterday. Should I tell you what they are? And then we will end this video. I was so excited. Hold on a second. Because I have my credit. So of course I have to use my credits immediately, because if I don't, then, I mean, well, then the end of the world will come. So yesterday I bought Dead to Her by Sarah Pinborough, which is her 2nd book. Her 1st book was called Behind Her Eyes, and I loved that book. It was very weird, but I loved it. And I have to say, this book is not getting great reviews, but then there was this one review on Audible, and it said, not the greatest book in the world, but a fun read. It kept me guessing. But the ending left me startled or feeling weird and awkward, just like the first one did. And I was like, okay, you sold me. Because the ending of Behind Her Eyes is what totally sold me on the book. Because I was like, oh my God, this book is so weird. It's fantastic. And then I got Run by Blake Crouch, which is one of his older books. You know, I love Blake Crouch. I read the Pine series, I read Recursion, I read Dark Matter, and I love him, so I got that. And yeah, let's see what else I have on here. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, because it's coming out on Netflix on February 28th, I believe. And I don't see anything else in here. I recently bought The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper, because I've heard such great things about it. And I think that's it. So yeah, I'm really excited about seeing what I read next, but I'm gonna finish the book that I'm reading now, The Hand on the Wall. If you have not read the Truly Devious series, do yourself a favor and read it. It's fantastic. It's one of the best series I've ever read. So anyway, let me know what you're reading this month in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.